As Bangladesh moves toward national elections, political violence, street unrest, and attacks on institutions are escalating. The death of youth leader and election candidate Sharif Osman Hadi has sparked widespread protests, vandalism of media houses, and heightened security in capital Dhaka. The interim administration led by Muhammad Yunus is facing growing criticism for failing to restore order in the country since the ousting of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. A report.
Bangladesh is sliding deeper into crisis as political uncertainty, economic strain, street violence and communal tensions intensify ahead of national elections. The killing of youth leader and election candidate Sharif Osman Hadi during a campaign in Dhaka triggered violent protests, attacks on leading media houses and heightened security across the capital.
The miscreants, steered the anger to demolish newspapers. They attacked us, and our journalists were scared to death, so they had to flee the office.
The unrest has unfolded under the interim administration led by Muhammad Yunus, formed after former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina fled the country in August 2024. Clashes near the Indian High Commission and rising diplomatic tensions have added to the volatility, with analysts warning the turmoil appears orchestrated rather than spontaneous.
If someone says that this was a spontaneous reaction, of course it wasn't. This man was unwell, or after he was shot or whatever has happened to him for a while, and there was no response from the public at large. But for the last couple of days, we have seen several members of the Yunus regime, including the former minister, Mr. Mahfouz, and others, have come out in public and called for blood and dead bodies. So there you go. I mean, that's what you have. When you call for blood and dead bodies to the jihadi crowd, they're going to go out there and aim for that.
To counter this lack of popularity of the Jamaat-e-Islami, they're trying to whip up all kinds of frenzies. First frenzy they tried to whip up was against Sheikh Hasina. That did not work at all. Now what they have done is that as part of the election campaign, one of their people was shot at, Osman Hadi. Within seconds of that shooting, they're trying to blame India. Without any inquiry, nothing. They called in our High Commissioner and telling him that, you have done this and so on. This is absolutely infuriating. And this is part of the methodology that Muhammad Yunus has been following to be completely anti-Indian.
The unrest in Bangladesh has taken a darker turn, with violence now spilling into cultural spaces and minority communities. Amid anti-India protests, reports of brutal attacks on Hindus have surfaced. In Maimen Singh, a Hindu man, Deepu Chandra Das, was lynched over alleged blasphemy and his body burned, an act that starkly exposes the country's growing lawlessness. Analysts warn such mob violence, increasingly weaponized for political and religious ends, signals a dangerous pattern of targeting minorities and dissent, deepening instability in an already fragile nation.
During that regime change occupation, within 1 minute of Sheikh Hasina leaving the country, they had started the attacks on the Hindu minorities. The killings, the lynching, the rape, destroying their property, destroying their businesses. The same thing is happening now. Yesterday, in a district, in Maimen Singh district, and in an area not very far from Dhaka, a young 30-year-old Hindu on a fake charge of blasphemy or something, he was beaten to death and then his body was put on a stick and burnt. Now what kind of a society is this? Is this 21st century? Is this civilization? You're going back to barbarism. Now this must be called out.
In India, hundreds of indigenous youths and students protested outside the Bangladesh Deputy High Commission in Agartala, condemning threats and inflammatory rhetoric from Dhaka. The unrest has spilled across borders, heightening diplomatic tensions and raising serious questions about Bangladesh's governance and commitment to human rights. As elections approach, the country stands at a dangerous crossroads with political violence, communal unrest, and diplomatic strain threatening stability, democracy, and minority rights across the region.